I am so happy for this game's mere existence. I've wanted the world and characters of Super Mario RPG to come back for a very long time. Even if these characters disappear, never to be seen again, we got to see them fully realized in a way that just wasn't possible 27 years ago. The ending in particular was really satisfying to watch, and arguably packed even more of an emotional punch. So yes, I got a lot of what I was hoping for from this remake, including a beautifully reorchestrated soundtrack by Yoko Shimomura. If there was one major shortcoming, however, the difficulty was simply much too easy. There were some very nice quality of life improvements, including ally buffs and the ability to swap in battle, but many of the boss fights felt like a complete cakewalk, sometimes being over in less than a handful of turns, although Smithy himself was just as fun as I remember. I feel this was in part a deliberate design choice to ease in newcomers, but this is counteracted by the remake's post-game content. These fights are definitely a challenge, and were a nice way to put in something new for longtime fans. In today's video, I wanted to rank these fights, 7 in total, from worst to best, so let's get this started. Number 7. Jinx. One of several optional bosses from Monster Town, the post-game battle for Jinx just didn't feel all that different from the previous encounters, and didn't feel much more challenging. He uses Quicksilver a lot, which has an instant KO and a difficult block timing, but you can equip accessories to counteract it. The battle is also over once you use a triple move, with the reward being the teamwork band that charges the triple move more quickly. Number 6. Johnny. This fight, to its credit, can be really difficult if you're not prepared, as it's a one-on-one fight with only Mario, and you're not allowed to use any items or gauge moves, and Johnny's attack power is very high if you're not successful in blocking. However, if you've obtained the Lazy Shell weapon and armor from completing the Seed and Fertilizer quest in Rose Town, you can both deal consistent damage and be able to take a few hits. Especially once you learn the block timing for the skewer attack, it was just a matter of gradually whittling him away. Number 5. Punchinello. This fight feels a bit like a puzzle, as Punchinello has extremely high defense and some brutal attacks if you're not able to block them. Eventually though, you figure out that hitting the bombs causes them to turn around and attack Punchinello instead. I was a little disappointed that only one bomb size was used in the fight, and perhaps Punchinello could have tried something to turn the bombs back around, but still a fun fight. Number 4. Belome. This was the first post-game boss fight I went to, as it was the first one Frogfucius hinted at doing, and it served as a very good way to ease you into these harder fights. Like the last battle, Belome will eat and clone the members of your party, but does so much more frequently, and the clones even give attack-resistant buffs to Belome. If you keep using your specials for group attacks though, the fight isn't too unmanageable, and I still managed to get it done on the first try. Number 3. Bunt. This fight seems to have a simple strategy on paper. Keep attacking Bunt to prevent all 5 of his candles from getting lit by the chefs. As long as you do that, Bunt can never use the devastating celebration shot. However though, Bunt is constantly using attacks to keep you from doing that, such as Petablast to turn you into mushrooms, or Light Bubble to put you to sleep. Accessories that can prevent both of these are rare, so you have to use a mix so you can keep your party attack ready with Cleansing Juice. This was the first fight that gave me a real challenge, but the Enduring Brooch was a really nice reward that definitely helped with the next one on this list. Number 2. Booster. This fight was a real head-scratcher that felt nearly impossible to solve for a while. Booster will constantly try to work on readying the Loco Express 023. If you attack him while he's working on it, this will break his concentration and halt his progress. However, his Sniffets will give him moral support, which speeds up the time it takes for him to make it, eventually to the point he can get it ready instantly. The apparent strategy is to simply take out the Sniffets as quickly as possible, which I eventually did focusing on accessories to increase the speed of party members and using powerful group attacks. Funnily enough, I was down to just Geno when I finished taking out the Sniffets, but with no more moral support, I was able to just keep breaking his concentration and become the victor. I learned later on that I could have used Geno World to quickly take out the Sniffets, but this way felt a little more earned. Number 1. Culex 3D. The second Culex battle is definitely not for the faint of heart. and it probably would have been easier if I had the patience to grind to level 30, but I was able to finally beat him in over an hour-long session with 61 turns. Culex starts the battle with a Dark Meteor Storm that at least reduces your HP to 1, followed immediately by Petal Blast, putting you right away in recovery mode before you can even attack. After quickly getting your party back together, the focus is on spamming group attacks while you try to take out each of the elemental crystals first. Culex also has a 5-turn countdown where he again does the Dark Meteor Storm. As much as I could, I used a triple move Spare Us All as a defense. After each crystal is destroyed, they give a buff to Culex that makes him stronger for the rest of the fight. When Culex is alone, he'll use Final Claw after the countdown, which is actually easier to deal with since it only attacks one member and can be blocked. It felt like forever to finally finish him off, with Mallow's Star attack being especially helpful. After winning the fight, I was informed that 61 turns was a pretty long time, and I have seen one video where the guy was able to do it in 4, but overall a great epic final mega boss. I had a really fun time with these extra bosses, and I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see more in the form of DLC. For one thing, there was more room on Star Hill for additional wishes to fall, and Smithy's gang was very noticeably absent from the postgame. Perhaps the DLC can bring them back for some truly insane possibilities. The game could also really use a hard mode, especially for the Super Mario RPG veterans who found normal a bit too easy. As a final reward for defeating Smithy in hard mode, I think it would be awesome if they remade the entire ending parade instead of just close to the end, although that way was pretty cool too. But what did you guys think of the DLC? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We are trying to still grow the channel, or trying to reach 1100 as our next goal. Be sure to go ahead, drop a like, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time. Bye everyone!